booked, lessons being booked, gear being moved.
The ranges are going to be packed.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but those in the industry can tell us if that's a fact. 248-539-9797.
Think Top Golf is happy?
I think Top Golf is giddy. And you go back to, over the last decade, we've seen, the wife blow out the back window of his SUV with a TaylorMade. We saw, pictures of him, mugshots of him post DUI.
Probably not a TaylorMade, but yes.
Four back surgeries.
He had back fusion surgery. A couple years ago, he couldn't even walk.
Yep.
He couldn't walk. And then it was he couldn't even bend over. And then it was, well, he can't really rotate. And then the comeback really is, it's remarkable. It's remarkable in so many different ways. It's one thing when you got an athlete that's come back from injury. And athletes come back from injuries all the time. But it's another when you last showed greatness on this amazing golf course in 2005. You were written off several times, and most recently just a couple of years ago, and everybody wrote him off. And now here it is 14 years later, and he wins again. 14 years later? That's a comeback for the ages. Nobody's done that. I mean, you just can't do it. Like, I was trying to think this morning of anything that compares and of people that have gone through the amazing injuries and are able to come back, and usually it's been within a couple of years. It's not a 14-year hiatus between championships at the Masters. I mean, Steve Yzerman was one that came to mind of all the injuries he went through and how he had to change the style of play. He went from being this dynamic, 65 goal scorer one year to now he was a defensive specialist, was a two-way player, and was a different kind of captain, was unbelievable, and playing on a totally repaired leg. And it was different. But it wasn't Tiger Woods different, This is, you can't. I was watching Jamie last night. I think it was Jamie that said it when he mentioned about.
Was it something smart?
It was something smart.
Yeah,
it was something very
Jamie.
Smart. It was Jamie, or was it Neo?
If it was smart, it was Jamie.
May have been
Neo.
May have been Neo
too.
Yeah. Saying that the different was to think about this kind of comeback. It's like Ben Hogan, who had gotten injured in a car accident that nearly killed him, and then ended up winning majors after that. And maybe that's a comparison, but I don't know. I'm modern day, can't think of one.
248-539-9797. David in Lansing. Hi, David.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Hey, so I just wanted to see if you guys noticed this at all. It always bothers me. A couple of times the commentators yesterday, they do their jinx. And Francisco Molinari, they put the statistic up there, 49 consecutive holes without a bogey, and then what's he do the next hole? He bogeys.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but notice that yesterday, Tiger's teeing off on the 16th, and there's commentators saying, how fabulous it's going to be to see him in the green jacket, and pretty much writing it off as he's the winner. And Brooks Koepka, if he made that final putt on 18,
yeah.
Would Tiger approach 18th like your cross screener a little differently? Maybe, but that was just a fraction of an inch from going to because Tiger did not get a bogey.
No, you're right, David. That's a good point. I mean, Brooks Koepka was so close. The ball just broke. It was weird how the ball broke away. It was almost like divine intervention because on somebody else's putt it doesn't break that way, but for him it did. It was crazy. And how would the approach have been differently? If Brooks Koepka is in the clubhouse with 13 under, and here's Tiger has a chance to get on the green in 2, is he going to try to get there in 2 or not?
Yeah, I couldn't help but thinking. I just kept getting frustrated with the commentators. I'm like, no, just be quiet. Don't say it. Don't say it. Just let it happen. Don't say he's got it. He's got it. Just let it happen. And I didn't want the jinx to happen. I wanted Tiger to win so bad. I just wanted him to shut their mouths for a little bit, But you guys seem to have noticed the same thing.
No. Only Gator noticed it. I think.
Well, I didn't know. No, I wasn't. The jinx. I wasn't about. I was about the actual events that unfolded there about Koepka missing that putt. It was so close to could have made it. I don't know about the jinx. Well, here's the thing with the jinx and why the jinx didn't work there because they said
there's no such thing.
No, Doug, because they said throughout about Molinari's streak of non-bogeys. They kept mentioning it throughout the entire thing. It wasn't like all of a sudden they came out and said, oh, look, he hasn't bogeyed. And then here he goes on 12 and puts it in the drink.
I'm so sick of guy hits like 55 consecutive free throws. And then, he hasn't missed a free throw in 55 consecutive free throws. Then he makes like 7 more and misses the 8th. And somebody goes, see?
Well,
See what he
there,
said?
right.
Shouldn't have said anything.
But when you say it, but when you finally say it and then it happens, that's when you can say jinx. But this case, I would say that you could not.
It's the most absurd thing ever. All right, the Pistons lose by 35.
What? When does the series start?
Have we talked about the Pistons too much already?
The series started?
Vinny Goodwell today for Yahoo said Blake's likely out the entire series. So are the rest of the Pistons. That was as embarrassing a performance. I mean, I'd have to go back to, November? But a college football game in Columbus. That was honestly embarrassing. And I said it, I've never seen this before in the history of broadcasting. Greg Anthony doing the game for TNT right around 9 o'clock. Mentioned the Game of Thrones premiere. Basically saying, turn the channel. Don't watch this. It was almost 48 minutes of warning Gator graphic. That was awful.
It was disgusting.
And I don't know if I'm going to say thus concludes our Pistons discussion for today. If you want to take it further, and we got more to say. But honestly, that was as bad as I can remember. Let me give you some Pistons impact right now. We just saw it. We had people on hold ready to talk about Tiger Woods. I mentioned the Pistons. They all hung up. That tells you where the interest is. And thus concludes our Pistons discussion for now. 248-539-9797. Luke in Plymouth, you're next. Hi, Luke.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Gator.
Hey, Luke.
Hey, Tiger's victory impacted me by a few dollars.
Nice.
I have a friend that accepts wagers, and I got Tiger at 12-1, and I offered $20 at 12-1, and winner chicken dinner.
How many times have you done this with Tiger?
First time.
First time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Buying lunch for everybody at work now?
I'm retired.
All right.
Wow.
There you go. Buying lunch for yourself.
Luke, is it something specific that made you say, I think Tiger's going to win this one?
I just had a hunch that he was due. I think he's put in the time and the effort. I just had a good feeling about Tiger this week.
Wow, it worked.
It paid off.
It worked out for you.
$240.
Yeah, I would say so. Well played, Luke.
All right, man. Great show.
248-539-9797. Did Tiger's win actually impact you in any way? Whether it be like my man Luke, whether you work in the golf industry, or are you a pro, lessons book? Did tee sheets fill up? Did you buy anything? Here's what's coming in. Scott in Chesterfield. I was at the Masters on Friday with my son, and I was wearing a lavender lilac golf shirt.
There you go.
Yeah. Going to golf at Pinehurst May 1st through the 4th, playing number 2 on the 2nd. And how can Tiger not get you inspired to play?
You're going to love it. Pinehurst is amazing.
Watch Tiger's last win at Augusta at my deceased grandparents' house in 2005. Watch this with my mom and dad. It brought back memories. Next one. Do we know if Tiger's coming to Detroit? I don't believe he is committed.
I don't think we've heard that yet.
Yeah. You deserve it a brand new shirt. It's time to buy that shirt. That's from Sean.
I'm gonna.
I set up some golf lessons and ordered a new red Nike golf shirt. I'm breaking 90 this year, fellas.
Go for it, man.
That's from Pat. I was glued to the TV watching golf. I think the early tee time motivated me to watch more golf, too, from beginning to end. I love the time change. There's a lot of that going on. A lot of people like the time change. To wake up first thing in the morning and boom, Masters. You know what Mondays mean? Champ and Chump.
That they do.
10:35, we'll have our Champ and our Chump and more of your open line calls. Did Tiger impact you in any way? 97.1 The Ticket.